and said, "You guys handle it." So he's got it. But now, are there any questions from down here in the crowd for any of the drivers? No, Jenna, we're not going to get him a leather jacket. We thought about it, though. Anyone want to ask one of the drivers a question? Nothing? Next race for Jack is next week, isn't it, Jack? Now, Jack, where are you in the points right now?
Fourth and... Did you turn this thing on?
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, we're sitting fourth in points right now. Good. We got Robert Height, Ron Capps, my teammate in the Napa car, and then Mike Neff, and then us. So you got a Force car, a Schumacher car, a Force car, a Schumacher car. We're heading to Bristol. I'll leave Thursday. We start running at Thunder Valley on Friday. It's, I still pinch myself. I get paid for this. A Spider, you're right. It takes 4 of us just to start one of these cars now. You know, I tell people, I said, being a driver is a great job. We get nearly all the credit. We probably don't deserve any, and we almost never get blamed, and we usually did do something wrong.
All right, now what kind of ETs are you turning out at what speeds?
Well, I don't know if you guys have been watching Ron Capps. Keep in mind they shortened us to 1,000 feet in 2008, so it's a little bit of apples to oranges. But let me tell you something, these cars just keep getting faster. NHRA's put weight on us because we've had all these extra safety features, the larger tubes, the thicker diameter tubes, the extra padding in the roll cage. So these cars have to weigh 2575 after the run. Keeping in mind we burn 12 gallons of fuel. They're about 2,700 pounds at the starting line. I think my son wanted to say something.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you too, Jason. You know, a MasterCard commercial with the priceless at the bottom?
Yeah, there it is.
That's the priceless part. So 2,700 pounds at the starting line. They're going 0 to 300 in under 4 seconds. Caps went 3.96 at 320 miles an hour. They're just stupid fast.
Moving on.
And you know what? You put Safford or Ivo in one and give them 4 runs, and I think they'd be right back up to speed.
Probably would.
Yep.
Probably
no,
would.
I think when you got it, it's hard to lose.
All right, thank you. Kenny, you had a deal at one time when you were running the coffin car. Something about Perdome and slicks. Was there something going on with that?
What was that now?
Back in the early days when you would run the old powered car against Perdome?
Well, Jack Williams, who ran Long Beach drag strip, on one Sunday afternoon, he says, he announced in the pit, said, if anybody would beat Perdome that day, he would give him 3 passes to the March meet in Bakersfield.
Okay.
Well, as it happened, we wound up, we raced Perdome in the first round. I mean, we were keyed up for this deal, and the light went green, and I was gone. And we beat him by maybe a wheel length at the other end. And he was fit to be tied, which I don't blame him. We whipped him good that day, so it was a good day for us.
Good, and you were running an Oldsmobile, not a Hemi, right?
No, that was the Oldsmobile.
That was the Oldsmobile. Yeah,
you were the car that's out there.
The car that's on display here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the day when any engine could really be competitive, just about.
That's right. Good. Well, that was the day that everything that you did on these cars was handmade.
That's good.
Today,
Bubble pack.
you just go to a counter and say, give me a crank or give me a block or whatever, and that's what happens. But in those days, you had to hand make everything. There wasn't a single part in the car that we didn't make. So it was a difficult time at that time, but it was a lot of fun too.
You learned everything about the car.
You know, like every Tuesday night was our night of mile bounds. Put a new girdle on a new block for us. So
there you go.
we went through an awful lot of blocks. I think we went through 17 blocks in 1 year.
That's nothing.
You do that in one race.
That's chump change now, right? That's 1 to 1.
7 blocks a run. Yeah. Now you ran. You were always into the Buicks and other. You had Heavies for a while, but most of what you ran were Buicks, right?
Well, we started out with Buicks. It was, like I say, I built that little Model T Roadster. I had a 55 Buick. We went out and we won class and set a class record and we got 2 trophies in one day. And to an actor, that was like winning 2 Oscars in one day. So I put 1 Buick into a dragster, then 2, then 4. Then it started getting a little ridiculous after that. So we switched over to the Chrysler at that time. But I don't know about this jumping in the car and making a few passes, and we'd be right back up to speed again. I back over trash cans and drive over curbs now. I don't think I belong in a race car anymore. Well, we all knew that.
All right, Tommy, what kind of ETs were you running with your single-engine car?
Well, the first time we ever set the world record was with my twin-engine car, and we broke the 8-second barrier. Ooh. Do you think things have changed a little bit since then? And we broke into the 7s with my fuel car, into the 5s with another one of my fuel cars, run 170, 80 miles an hour, 190. It was so much fun then because it was a giant research and development program. We'd go home each year from tour and say, oh boy, what are we going to build next year? Now it's kind of cut and dry. It's getting so technical. What works, so to speak. The only thing is, like with myself, I owned the car, I drove the car, I tuned the car, everything from sweeping the floors to being the CEO. But see, I didn't have to worry about getting fired because I was sleeping with the boss, you understand?
All right. Now put that in perspective. We have a current racer in our club, Al White. Al, you run a full-bodied Pontiac GTO with a Canadian Chevrolet, right? A Canadian Pontiac, better known as a Chevrolet. And you're running how quick?
High Spider.
You're running with a full-body car today?
Today it's incredible. It's a full-body GTO, and it'll run pretty close to 7 O's at 195, and on carburetors and gasoline. So
yeah, he opens the doors and walks in.
So, but everything's pretty relative, really, because back then, when these guys were running 7 and 8 seconds in their fuelers, the hot street cars and gassers and stuff were running 10 seconds and 11 seconds. So everything's kind of come down the curve, and every year everything gets faster and faster. And Tommy, you can still drive one. If I can still drive one, you can still drive one.
Don't bet the house on it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al. Spider.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you came out from New York, what kind of car were you running? What were you running in?
Let's see, it was a 1953 Chrysler limousine. Chauffeur driven.
Were you the chauffeur or did you have one?
No, I didn't drive. Red drove. Red drove the race car, so we had to drive the tow car as well. That was the deal.
Now you lived in the car. You traveled all the time. You didn't live in the car. You pretty much did all the driving time you did. You had a lot of windshield time.
Yeah, a lot of windshield time.
You came out of Brooklyn.
Well, I raced up till we had a B-gas supercharged car that I raced. We ran in 8 seconds and 9 seconds. Excuse me, 8 seconds in a drag. About 9. The likes of K.S. Pittman, who was from Southern California, Pittman and Edwards, and John Masmanian. Those guys were really the heart of drag racing too. They put on a good show. The people liked to see them, and they ran fast. And like Tommy said, they kept evolving. From year to year, the cars would go faster and faster. And that's where we came in our company, because as the cars went faster, they needed better equipment. So we had parts to protect the engine. It was more of that kind of a company.
Okay. What was the last car you drove?
B-gas supercharged.
B-gas? What kind of body?
1955 Chevrolet.
Okay. So it was a pretty heavy car.
Yeah, heavy car with a McCulloch supercharger. It was a pretty good car.
Good. Fine. Yes.
For Fast Jack. And I want your honest answer here. Racing fuel, 2 cars is very exciting to watch. Racing 4 is really hard to keep your eye on everything. And honest, not the PC answer, but your honest feelings. Do you really like racing 4 lanes versus the 2?
Anytime you have to preface the question with "I want you to be honest," or you say that you don't think I'm normally honest, I'll tell you this. Keep it in mind that I always want to keep my job. I'll always give you my honest opinion, and I haven't wavered since they initially said we're going to 4-wide. From a fan's perspective, if you ever get a chance to go to that race and sit in the stands, it's unbelievable. You might say, it's not my cup of tea, I won't do it again, but you should do it once. From a racer's perspective, to be there with 3 other cars, unbelievable. It shouldn't be done for points. I am totally for doing this as an exhibition deal. The problem is, in Tommy's day and in Kenny's day, they made their living off of match race appearances. There weren't many national events. They would never draw a full field of competitive cars unless they paid huge money for that race. So they made it a points race, and it's mandatory to go. And I don't think it should be. It's like giving Major League Baseball a softball and telling them to play 1 game like that. I don't think it should be for points, but it is very cool. And I got to tell you, that trophy I got from it is pretty special. So I like it. Let's just do it on an off weekend and not count it towards the championship.
Thank you, John. Anyone else with a question? No one else wants to step up and ask? This is your chance. Jason? Okay, Jason, do you like the 4-wide?
Daddy, when are we going to leave?
That's a very important question. Does he want my honest answer or just a piece?
Jason, what kind of car are you going to drive?
What kind of car do you want to drive?
No car.
No car? What about the tractor at the house? What about the tractor that Dad has at the house? What about the tractor? You want to drive the tractor? No.
Quiet all of a sudden, didn't
You got quiet, yeah. All right. Tommy, of all the cars you drove and didn't drive, is there something that you would have liked to get behind the wheel of?
Yeah. I've tried to do something special for my 60th birthday. I was so happy I'd outlived my father who passed away at 59. I took a trip around the world. On my 40th, I threw the clutch out of my funny car and ended up eating at Denny's. So I said, I'm going to do something special after this. I went to China, stood on the Great Wall. I already quit driving then. Pounded myself on the chest and said, them cars didn't get me after all. And what I wanted to do for my 70th was take one of those suborbital space shots.
Oh.
I've always been such a bug. We'd lay out the tour so we could do special things, like go to New Orleans during Mardi Gras. I went down and saw them shoot the last night shot to the moon shot. And so, but unfortunately, I'm 76 now, they still haven't got it working, maybe for my 80th, but that's my dream, is that suborbital shot. The only thing is now, with the jet car, they didn't have any pedals with them. It was all hand operated. So when I'd go across the finish line, I'd pull the chute and just relax in the car, and you'd float up into the shoulder harness and your arms and legs would dangle in front of you. So I know what weightless feels like. Playing them cars all the time, but it's fun.
All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our history and our current NHRA future. Thank you very much.
I'd like to know from Kenny and Tommy some of the extracurricular activities the Road Kings did, poker runs, club stuff, and some of our not so get into the paper type of stuff.
Well, River Road had a lot of rubber on it at one point.
Understand the question.
He wants to know what extracurricular activities the Road Kings did. Now, we know about the...
We took dirty motors apart, cleaned them up, put motors back together.
The poker run.
And in between, I was married.
In between, so now you fit that in. And your grandson's behind you.
Right. Fortunately, I've been married for 50 years.
Wow, congratulations on that. That's great.
But yeah, but we had a good time. And I think I devoted one night a week to my wife. Go for it.
I will. All right, Tommy.
The guy that just came up and asked that question standing right there is Tom Gent. He was one of the original Road Kings as well. And he was dangerous. He used to make bombs. I'd be working in my garage over here in the middle of the night, and he'd slip M80s under the garage door, and they'd go off, and I'd see everybody standing there with their eardrums hanging out to here. We never could catch him. We were on a poker run. I was sitting in the back seat of his car. There was a bunch of old fogies in front of us, an elderly man, a gentleman, I guess, elderly man and his wife. I guess I shouldn't say old fogies at my age, but he rolled up behind it, stood on the gas, and pushed him along and said, "Get out of the way." And they were back there looking to see what was going on. We were quite a group. Like I say, we lived American graffiti.
Yeah, and Joel said you had a nickname for everybody? Give us a clue. No, yeah, Joel, don't pick on him. All right, it's one of those things. Ladies and gentlemen, our history and our future. Thank you very much.